Hey everybody, welcome. We're just getting started here, and we're going to do a little rundown on what we're doing for John's Nobler. And we got John over here.
Hello, everybody.
Let me get the camera turned a little bit more. That's good. So, what we're going to do here today is, I can't say it's a tutorial on Cut-A-Lot Pro because it ain't, because I have no clue what I'm doing. But you'll get to see what I'm doing here. So let's do this. Window capture. And then we're going to go like so. You know what? I need to view that larger is what the deal is. View. Zoom in. Can you hear us okay? Hope so. One more time. View. Zoom in. Okay. Now, here's what we're doing today. What happened to my... There we are. Here's what we're doing today. Let's take this. No, that ain't right. We want to video capture device. There we are. We'll go up with this. Sorry it's taking so long. Like I say, I don't have a crew to run this stuff. I got to do everything by myself. So it's a little difficult. And transition. There we go. We got the program up and running for you. What we're broadcasting is what's on the right.
Okay.
This is a professional software with an idiot running it.
Here we go again.
Okay, let me take a drink here and we'll get rolling.
Yeah, this is our typical, well, would have normally been Saturday at John's. I guess that's what you were calling it.
Yep, this is
Except
Saturday at Bob's.
We're at Sparky's.
Yeah.
This is not any kind of a rehearsed or, pre-planned thing. This is pretty spur of the moment considering the circumstances out there today, the virus and whatnot. Just needed to be able to work on my airplane. In order to do that, I need some stencils. So we're still keeping within the rule of 10 people or less and somewhat social distancing.
We could wear our masks.
Yeah, we got our masks here.
This is BS, is what it's coming down to. Okay. So, what we're doing is we're designing some letters, numbers, and things to cut John some stencils. So, what do you want to add to these, John?
Need to get Wix in there for their sponsorship.
Okay. File. First thing we're going to do is save project in case I lose it. Save project
Right.
as.
So we're getting all our paint from Wix. So we need to make sure they're on there somewhere.
Okay.
I think I want that sort of smaller than what we've been making. Can we make that smaller? How hard would that be?
Won't be hard for me at all.
It'd be hard for me when I got to lay
because
it out.
of the picking.
Right.
You know.
Well, I've done that before. That's not that bad. Wix isn't too bad as far as picking goes.
File. Open project. Let's see here. Gotta look for Cut-A-Lot. I don't know where to find that at. Oh, it's so difficult to see.
That's my thing when it comes to I download stuff on the computer and then I can't find where I put it at.
File,
It's just-
save as. So it's desktop. It's in Herzl. Okay, so we gotta go open project. File, open project. Desktop. This PC. We'll just go here to desktop. Herzl. In this folder here. So there's your file right there. Checks. Junar. I think I had it in the Junar, so we'll open that up. And I should number these things. Like this is checks. This is going to be for yours. Jerry has one somewhere on this computer.
Mhm.
But I've got the revisions for Junar. Junar 4, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Right.
I don't know where the heck the Wixes are, so we'll open that. That ain't it. That ain't it. That's the shell. That's Wix there. Open. Okay. So, I'm not really a computer guy. I just copy. Oh, that's object group, object. Oh no, they're grouped already. Copy. Now I go back to John's file, open project. John's Nobler, open. Come down here. Paste. Well, I know it pasted somewhere. Where did it paste?
All the way at the bottom again.
Certainly. So, if there's anything you want to know about what we're doing, type it in the chat box. Like, subscribe, share the videos. Okay, you want me to make those boxes smaller than what they are, than that?
Yeah. About
That's,
3/4 of that size. Because I don't know that I'm going to put it on the flap like we have right there. We've got some the full size that we're using on flaps and stuff now, but I'm not so sure I want to put it on there like that. I might put it on another spot on plane. I just want to see.
that's an inch tall right there. How tall do you want it?
Well, 3/4 or so.
That's 3/4. How wide do you want it?
What do we got there? We got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's almost 5 inches there. Make it 3.
Shoot, it didn't move. Damn.
Not going to.
Now, I ungrouped the letters from the wings and I ungrouped everything.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, it's all off center now.
So we got to start over again. Delete. 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 Paste. Then I got to go down here and find it again. So let's just work on it down here till we get it right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we want an object. Like I say, I don't do this enough to object, ungroup. Unbelievable. I wonder if I can step back. Edit. Undo moved object. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we're going to group these together again. Object. Group. See, these are kind of important to keep it at the same because you're going to You know, one
You got
stencil
an overlay, yeah.
indexes over the other one. So if you do them separate,
Yeah, all your scaling's all off and everything.
and I had already done the work for this, so I don't want to do it again.
All right, I don't blame you.
Okay, so now we're going to resize this, and you want it 3/4 of it. Let's move it up here so we can get a grip on it. That's an inch and a quarter tall, inch and an eighth, no, inch and a quarter. So you want it 3/4 tall, which is only that tall there. And how wide do you want it?
Well, can you just start narrowing it up until we see where it looks right? That doesn't look too bad, does it?
No.
Okay, let's go with that.
Okay, now comes the hard part.
That's about 1, 2, 3, 3.5 by 3/4.
Now comes the hard part. We got to get rid of this one. We're going to have to do what here?
I'm thinking that has to be shorter in length.
Okay. I'm not going to be able to, it's going to have to cut the wicks out of this one. You're just going to have to remember and cut it backwards, you know, pick it backwards.
Yeah, well, we do that anyway, so.
I know, but what I'm saying is, I had an empty one there before. Well, I don't remember how I did that. Because if I break this apart, I can't.
I think I did that before, and I had to tape over all the cut lines around the wick so it didn't spray paint through it.
I can't manipulate this object.
That's all right.
Yeah,
we'll just cut 4 of them that way, and then I'll just.
Okay. So is that wide enough?
Let's go narrower on the width. About. See what that looks like. That looks better.
Okay, so the true size of this is 3/4 by 3 1/8.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay. Copy. Paste in place. Copy. Paste in place. Object. Group. All right. Da. I need to look and see where, you know, I should ungroup those and move them across in a line, because then I can do a straight line across, and not, we're only going to use 12 inches of material instead of 14 inches.
Well, I want to get stunt hanger in there too, so just stunt hanger. Doesn't have to have the whole website thing, but I want it smaller too. I want it.
That's all right. Whatever. I'll just type that in. Copy. Paste in place. Group. Copy. Paste in place.
Now, if anybody's ever done this before, this takes a lot to do this. It looks pretty simple, and Robert makes it look pretty simple, but me as somebody that's never ever done this, there's a lot to remember. There's a lot to learn, and where to go and where to pick things up at, and how to get them out of the file and how to transfer them and overlapping pages and all that stuff. And it gets a little, you got to remember where you're going and back and forth. Is
I don't use this enough to be real fluent with it, but
he does a pretty doggone good job of it, though.
okay. So you just want stun hanger here.
I don't want to get your ad in there.
You want the lower cases? I mean, I think it'd be better. That's how they stunt.
Yeah, that'd be great. That's all I need. Now
Okay.
let's make that. Let's see how many little dots and stuff are in there. Because you got to think about weeding this thing. Because you got all them little O centers that got to stay in there. See what that looks like down to 4 inches.
There ain't no way you'd be able to pick that. No way.
Hey, I picked all those mugs out that were
I'll cut
all
it- I'll-
1/4-inch letters.
I'll cut them any way you want, but there ain't no way you're gonna pick that
Oh,
at
yeah.
4 inches. Ain't no way.
I did mugs.
Okay, you're gonna pick them before you leave, right?
No, I'll probably pick them at the house. It takes 2 X-Acto knives, and you gotta sit there and hold the O in and pick around.
Well, then I'll give you my old roll of transfer tape to take with you, but I got a new roll. So. Okay. So we need color fill none. And I need to stretch this out. Yeah, there ain't no way you're gonna be able to. I think even this is gonna be hard to pick, but whatever. Okay, object group. Object group. Remember, this is 8. That's 8 inches. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches long by 3/4 tall. But how long you want it?
Let's try 5 anyway.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. There's 5. It looks
Okay.
pretty big on there, but you got to remember I got this thing zoomed up for us blind fuckers.
Right, right, because that's 1.5 inch squares we're looking at there, and not inch squares.
And that's about a 1/2 inch tall there.
Okay, that's good. That's fine.
Okay. How many of those you want?
Well, fit some in there. It's going to be at least. Might as well do 4 of them, and then that way we're trying to use up our paper area.
Yeah, if 4 will fit in there.
Well, 3 will fit in there.
Oh yeah.
And you can do 1 below it, and it's only 1 inch.
Yeah, but then there's a waste on the bottom again. I mean, you're always going.
Yeah, what does it cut to? The next full inch or something?
Yep.
Well, do 2 over top of one another. You see what I mean? 1 down below each one of those.
Copy. Paste in place. We'll see if it goes all the way across. That's what you get.
I don't think you won't fit in there because there's not enough.
Maybe.
Oh, that's right. We still got the USAs and all that other stuff up there.
Yeah. Let me zoom out here. View, zoom out. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Now you got this area here you can utilize if you want to do something. That's going to use a 1.5 foot of material.
Right, that's not too bad for all that. What can we put in there?
Pampa,
Yeah.
AMA, or yeah, we didn't do an AMA.
We didn't do AMA. We didn't. Yeah, AMA, Pampa.
Copy. Paste in place. Let me tell you why I do it that way. That way the font doesn't change. Okay. Okay. Edit object. Ungroup. Okay. Delete. Delete. Object. Ungroup. So the AMAs are going to be the same size as the USAs.
That'll be all right.
We're not going to get Pampa in there. There ain't enough room. Okay, text. Where did my text box go? It disappeared. Oh, there it is. Okay, text. And move that back. You want to make it box a little smaller, maybe? It's pretty small now.
Pretty small now. Yeah, you need a little tape rim around the edges of it.
Okay. Object. I can't. I'll look here and see if anybody's said anything here. Gonna have to be a little smaller so I can get it into there.
Okay.
Object. Ungroup. Yeah. Object. Group. Yeah. Barely fits. Copy. Paste in place. We'll get 2 more of those in there.
Get 2 more in there.
Paste in place. Did you see it move?
Mm-hmm.
Just by the click of the mouse, it moved 1/8 of an inch, in size.
Right.
I'm sure there's a better way to do all this stuff, but I don't know it. copy, paste in place. Okay,
Perfect. Filled all that out.
file, save project as, John Nobler, save, yes, yes, I know, yes. Okay, I gotta get the machine loaded up here. Let me move move this. We got 6 watchers. Like, subscribe, share, super chats help. 7 watchers. Let's do this now. Let's see here, where are we at? There we are. Window capture. We're going to turn that off. And we're going to go to video capture. Make that big again. And transition. John will keep you occupied while I load up the machine.
Yeah, we were thinking about, we were all wanting to go flying because we're all getting some airplanes that are pretty much ready for beginning of the season here, and I'm a little bit behind Jerry and Sparky on their airplanes. I'm trying to get caught up to them so we can get out and go flying. You know, if they take these coronavirus things off of us, which we hope this doesn't last forever here, and we can get back to normal activities as soon as we can. And we probably already noticed that we're getting a lot of cancellation. You know, Joe Null's been canceled, Brodak's been canceled. There's a bunch of local contests that's been canceled also. It's never a good thing when they're shutting down all of society, you know, and all the businesses, and everybody's not making money, and nobody's happy, and not to mention having cabin fever from the winter, and we've got this virus deal going on. So it's really putting the hoochie coochie on everybody's attitudes and everything else, and it's really hard to look on the bright side of things, but have hope. We've been through stuff like this before. I'm sure we'll go through it again, and we'll get through this one the same way as we got through the swine flu and all the others, and the Spanish flu, and we'll get through this one too. So just keep a positive outlook on things. Try to find things to make your time go by. Get a hobby. Start a new hobby. Start an old hobby. Whatever it takes to help pass the time. I called the CDC today, and I talked to them because I wanted to know about just going out. And not going anywhere in particular. Go for a ride in the car or whatever out in the country, or go looking at houses or whatever, and seeing how the better half lives or whatever you want to do. And what they told me was, as of right now, and I can't say this might not change, tomorrow, but as of right now, she said just consider your car your house. And you're in your mobile house and you're cruising around. But she also said, if you get pulled over for speeding or something like that, that you might get a Barney Fife out there or something that might want to try to prove something or whatever during this crisis, and that you may have some problems with that kind of situation. So, that being said, do it at your own risk, but there's nothing wrong with going out and taking a little ride to break the cabin fever up a little bit. Just get out of the house, get some fresh air. There's nothing wrong with opening up the windows to your house on a nice day and getting it all aired out with some fresh spring air in the house, and get the old winter smells out. Everybody's cleaning, yard work, and all that stuff. It's the social distancing thing that has got everybody, and I don't think there's a problem with one or two people getting together. It's when, like they say, 10 or more that you start running into some real problems. And as long as, everybody plays it safe and uses common sense, which there seems to be a lack of anymore these days, that we can't go through this thing and have a nice, healthy rest of the year here. Um, be mindful of your elders and the people that have health problems. I myself, I got about everything you're not supposed to have as far as coming into contact with this stuff. Not to air my dirty laundry, but I've got immune deficiency. I'm an insulin dependent diabetic. I had a heart valve replacement. I got liver problems, so I've got just a multitude of sins there that, partially from being ridden hard and put away wet too many times in my younger years, and just natural old age things. But just be careful and keep yourself clean, and wear your mask in public, and
Keep building.
keep building. Yeah, bring your hobbies back up. It doesn't matter whether it's a little teeny 10-inch wingspan glider or a 60-inch wingspan full stunt ship. Break it out and start dabbling with it. You can keep up with Sparky on his videos. He's got the series of videos out right now. So 1 hour, it's 1 hour a day. So all you got to do is, you still got plenty of time. You're sitting at home twiddling your thumbs watching TV anyway. Set aside an hour a day and just go down and work. Don't sit there and stare at your stuff for an hour. Actually pick up an X-Acto knife or whatever and start cutting and sanding and building, and just dedicate an hour. And you would not believe how much you can get done in just it does it an hour a night, an hour a week, an hour every 2 days, an hour every 5 days, 4 days, whatever. Just an hour, an hour a couple times a week, and you'd be surprised at how much you can get done as long as you sit down and actually build when you're doing it. You can't sit there and reinvent the wheel. Skid design,
That looks pretty good.
Plan, whether you're building from plans or a kit or whatever. A kit, easy. An arc, whatever it may be. Just an hour, and in an hour you can cover a whole wing with monocoat in an hour easily. And that's getting the stuff out and cleaning up after yourself. I know that we've made videos where we sat there and some of these paint jobs that we do, it takes us 8 or 10 hours to take the things off. It takes about 5 minutes to actually shoot it. and it gets sort of frustrating when it comes to that fact, but these new tapes and stuff, I put tape on an airplane and I've left it on for a week or even better than a week, and come back and finished it up and shot my paint and got the tape off. And sometimes you'll get some residue that you got to clean off, which normally isn't too much of a problem, but we're of the adage of the paint's still almost wet when we're pulling tape. So we try to get it taped and sprayed as quick as we can. Teacher, and it
Okay. Hopefully that'll work. Had to reset it. I gotta give this piano to the next door neighbor. Get it out of the way.
And Steve Hines gave Sparky a piano. He was gonna try to learn how to play the piano, and it's
too hard.
pretty difficult. Some of these guys make it look pretty easy, but it's really not as easy as it looks.
Okay, let's let her rip, tater chip. So, let's see here, window capture on. And transition. So now what you do, I mean, I could show it cutting, but that'd be super boring. But now what you do is you go up here to your cut box, you hit cut, it's gonna select how it's gonna be oriented, and we're in the MH cutter and cut. What does this say over here now? It says, I must not have it plugged in. You gotta plug it in first. And that's exactly what's wrong with it. Not plugged in. Okay. It is now. Cutting machine's on. Okay. Cut. And there we go. That's what all that noise is. Let me check it. Oh, we're gonna have to cancel that. Pause. Come on. Man, I got it. I got the pressure set too tight. I was cutting that stencil material.
Oh yeah.
So I got to go on US or look for best settings to cut vinyl. Man, wouldn't you know it? I was cutting some stencils.
Would that damage the blade, or has that got a backup that's?
It ain't damaging the blade. It's just okay. Okay, so now, come on.
It doesn't give you tight corners or whatever.
It's thinking. You want to get going and the stupid thing's locked up. Aggravating. It's because I got all these programs open. I'm streaming and cutting, and I mean, there's a lot of computing power going on for a laptop.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I've got OBS open. Let's take this off. And video capture device. And transition. All right, I'm going to have to look for best settings for US cutter. So that's what I'm going to do. And it's still thinking. There we go. All right, so I need to go here. Get this back here. That's the paint job for my tucker.
Yeah, that'll look good.
Best for best cutter.
You don't want to put that right crunch left front fender on it.
I know. That's it. MH871. I don't remember what the baud settings are and all that other stuff, so. Understanding the cutter series control pad. I don't care about that. Let's look at that. Okay. It defaults to 110, okay? Depends on 90 to, that's what it is. I got it at like 200.
90 to 110.
I got it at 200. It started eating it up, like grinding it up.
Yeah. You cut that heavy paper.
Pause. Yeah, I got cut pressure.
Have you tried to cut balsa wood on that yet? I heard of guys cutting it on their crickets the crickets.
TJ?
Might have been. He might have tried it.
Might do plywood. Might do 64 plywood.
Well, the problem with balsa wood, and everybody knows that builds model airplanes, is cutting cross grain. And the fact that your X-Acto knives and scalpels and all that stuff, and just from scratch building a kit or whatever, you can see how fast the blades actually dull up. Now, taking for granted these blades that's in these cutters might be of a much better quality steel and stay sharp longer, but you might end up with what would be considered in the olden days a die crunched, where it's ripping the fibers when it cuts across the grain. Cutting with the grain is pretty easy, but
I bet it would. Now that I think about it, I bet it would cut 64 ply.
Well, it probably cut 8.
No,
except that's a radius on that bed, whereas like a cricket machine, you got a flat bed that you're cutting on with a little sticky mat.
Cutting originals at 260. Around 60 was good. I want. What is the speed? What speed? Best. Best speed. That's how you spell mile, isn't it? Best. MH871. Search again.
I have a quick start book or anything like that. Probably at back home.
Yeah.
St. Louis.
Yeah. What the heck? I need to see a number. You see any numbers up there? 1/3 speed. Well, what? There's no 1/3 speed on there. It's how many feet per second? Okay. I should have marked those settings down. I had it set perfect. Okay, well, we'll just do another test cut. Cut speed is at 110 milliseconds. Cut pressure 100 grains. Let's go to 90. Hopefully it won't eat up. Reset.
Well, I'm sure there's an optimum on it, but
Origin.
wouldn't you have more of a problem if you cut too fast than if you cut slower?
That like it worked.
Even that's cutting pretty fast, even, isn't it?
No. Yep, that's perfect. Okay, we can go and do it now. I just wasted all this.
Can't you put a small piece in there and then register it?
If I could.
Well, you can't do that because it's cutting the full width of that sheet, isn't it?
Yep.
So you can't do that. But if you
Yeah,
had something smaller,
Yeah, I could.
that piece shouldn't be wasted.
Well, it
you
won't
should
be. We'll cut it
able to.
off and move it over.
you know, you could tape it onto the end of the.
Okay, we got it registered there. Down, down. It won't be wasted. I'll cut it off and then feed it back through up for small decal.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what it was. Better, when I cut it, I gotta come back over and look, make sure it's not chewing it up, though. Okay, let's try again. Let's see, MS Cutter, where did it go? Shit, it went away. Fortunately, we saved it. Yes. Okay. Sorry guys for all the rigmarole, but like I say, I don't do enough of this.
He's got two TV screens here. He's got a laptop over here, TV screen here, and he's putting stuff back and forth between one screen and the other screen, and multiple layers of screens on each one of these things going at it.
Look at that. It laid on top of it. So there. That looks right. So let's try it. Cut. Cut. Please work. Sounds right. Yeah, it ain't eating it up.
That's good.
See, I had that clear plastic that I cut stencils on, and I had to turn that thing all the way up to cut through that clear plastic. Okay, let's go to YouTube and see if there's any questions.
Listen, to get it set right so it's not cutting through the paper backing and everything.
Live streaming on YouTube. Where you guys can hear us, we got 6 watchers, an excellent connection, and I got no questions.
Thumbs up, everybody.
Yeah,
Thumbs up.
thumbs up. We only got 4 likes. Tell them what you think.
Taking a look at Sparky's little new wing here for his extra large Tucker. This is his usual standard of build quality, excellent, very, very light. This is a 60-inch wingspan airplane, at least 60 inches, maybe a little bit more. It's gonna be another beautiful plane. This thing doesn't weigh nothing. Nothing.
6 3/4 ounces weight.
6 3/4 ounces, it says. It's still got one more landing gear block to put in it, which I'm not going to add that much. But outside of that, the belt crank, the lead outs.
Reference cards in it. Tip bait. Tip box in it.
Tip boxes in it.
Got a little more sand to do over there.
Got sort of rough down here. He's got some tips to finish out on one end of it. These will be popped off and hollowed out on the inside once he gets the outside everything all done up, and he'll carve out any excess wood that doesn't need to be there. But this wing was built with probably some of the lightest wood that anybody sees out there, because it's less than 5 pounds, 4.5 pound wood or less.
3.5 on the ribs.
Yeah, so it was used on this wing, and that's how he got the less than 6 ounces and the weight for a wing this big. This is at least
11.5 inches.
11, I was going to say 12 inches for a cord. Like 10 something at the tips, 2 inches thick, and the 2 1/4 maybe thick. Pretty constant cord. It may taper a little bit at the tips, but it's not much. 1/4 inch maybe. 3/8 maybe at the most. So it's a big wing. It's a thick wing. Um, this airplane, hopefully when he gets it done, it keeps going the way it is right now with this. We're looking at a 54-ounce airplane, maybe 58 at sub 60, let's say.
Use the Jap tissue.
Ounce airplane, yeah, Jap tissue on the thing, which is going to be phenomenal. I mean, the finish on this is going to look
I gotta get the woodwork perfect. There's some spots up here.
yeah, get that perfect. Get these things all beveled back all the way around these edges. That helps that when pulling down in there, if you leave these things sharp, you see that real prominently when you finish it. But if you round these off really good, I mean really good, then your tissue tends to go over it and then it goes out and floats rather than sucking around the corners of things.
That's roughed in. That's that right there is probably 8 hours. Hour a day for 8 days.
Yeah, an hour a day. This is what you can get in a week. An hour a day. And we were talking about that earlier. But you can't sit and stare at it, reinvent the wheel. You got to have a plan. You have to go for it and sit down and work for an hour. The hour's up, put it down. Go do something else.
I'd be a lot farther along if I didn't do any live streaming. The live streaming takes an extreme amount of concentration to get all this stupid stuff working.
And of course, your mindset goes. You know, it's hard to get into your building zone when you got to talk about everything that you're doing, and that sort of takes up stuff.
And have you guys laugh at me for making mistakes?
This airplane was built from a lost foam jig.
Lost foam jig can be attained at Bob Hunt. Or Bob Hunt.
He makes a very fine product. He'll do anything from just the jig all the way up to fully built wings. I don't know if he's actually finishing and painting them anymore, but they're fully finished. But when you do these jigs, these lost foam jigs, it's imperative that you mark each and every rib. Because when you sand these things to shape, it sands this taper. And so if you used to flip that rib over and put it in the wrong direction, the taper would be going this way instead of this way towards the tip. So, I mean, it's imperative that you put a little mark of some type, top, whatever, on every single rib that you make in your lost foam jig, so you get all those sand-in tapers in the correct orientation.
You know what I did here? I did these shear webs the right way, you know, where before I put the sheeting on.
Yeah.
I cleaned up and I threw them out. So I had to make these the hard way.
The hard way, yeah.
Calipers.
Oh, God, yeah, that's tough.
That's why they're not absolutely, they're close, but they're not absolutely perfect because I threw the good ones away.
That's hard. Now, he only ran his shear webs out just past the landing gear blocks, which is really, that's all you need him for. He's got vertical webbing in here, a little piece of 1/4 or 3/16 by 16th inch vertical webbing here to keep these spars from, for these ribs from splitting in half, compression splitting on them when you get bend in the wing. Your shear webs, that's what that's for, is that's to keep your spars apart from one another so that they don't, when the wing bends, it doesn't compress the top and bottom spar and break. So the shear webbing between that gives it rigidity in that aspect. It connects the top spar to the bottom spar with vertical grain. Always run your shear web with the grain vertically, from the top of the wing to the bottom of the wing. If you run them horizontally, then you don't get that compression strength that you need. Same way for your trailing edge. You've got trailing edge shear webs in here also. And these trailing edge shear webs do the same thing. They keep this with these Warren truss wings or geodetic, whatever they're Warren truss, it wasn't geodetic, but that keeps this from bowing down in between the ribs. When you got them right here, like real close together, you don't have that problem. But this is about twice, at least twice the spacing of a normal wing rib, and these tend to bow in between these big wide sections. It's imperative that you put those in there to aid this leading edge sheeting from to keep it straight and to keep it from buckling. Just more rigidity for the wing.
I showed how to cut those and make them perfect. That's pretty damn close where they are there. I just got another roll of 80 grit sandpaper.
Believe you me, that's tough. Those are harder than heck to cut and make them all the same, because your wings not only you got to sand an angle on them from the front of that trailing edge sheeting to the real trailing edge of the sheeting, but they also taper in height as they go out towards the wingtip.
Those little wicks turned out good.
Well, that's the smallest ones. Those would be the ones that we have problems with. If any of them would be those.
Stud hanger, smaller.
You think it is?
And them little dots in there, they're going to be. We'll see here in a second. It's about done cutting.
What's the smallest height letter that you can cut?
1/8 inch, but you can't pick it.
Well, yeah, but it'll cut an 1/8 inch letter, an 1/8 inch tall letter.
Cut anything I program it to cut, but what happens is it chews up the vinyl.
Right. Some of them are limited on size. Remember Tank Snobbies? They had those laser cut.
Oh yeah, it cost me $150 a sheet for that.
Yeah, they're not cheap now.
I wish he did it again.
Yeah, they're well worth it though. If you need military fonts and that kind of stuff like that, he cuts actual stencils out of light cardboard, and you sit it on your airplane and you paint it just like a stencil, like they would in the military, and it looks identical with the little bridges that hold the letters together and the whole shebang. And like you did on P-47, and you got these little teeny
16th inch tall, those letters were.
Yeah.
They were
super dinky.
microscopic. How he picked those, I got no clue.
Magnifying glass.
Yeah.
A lot of patience.
Can you guys hear us over the cutter? The cutter's almost done.
I did 38, or was it 40? 40 beer mugs that had stenciling for a contest on them because we used them for the trophies. We had first, second, and third place, as well as the name of the contest and the name of our club and all that stuff on there. And all these letters were probably no more. The first, second, and third was about 3 inches tall, but all the other letters were anywhere from a 1/2 inch down to a 1/4 inch in height. And me and Bart spent a week picking. Just picking the stencils that I used for those. And then I stuck them on the mugs, picked up the transfer tape on them, stuck them on the mugs, and then went out in the garage and sandblasted all of them. And it came out beautiful. But man, I'll tell you what, was it a nightmare picking. We learned all the easy ways to. We figured out that you got to have 2 little things to manipulate that, and the little dots inside the O's, the center of O's and P's and stuff like that. That you got to hold that in place, and then pick the letter around it, and then that little dot doesn't want to stay stuck. So you got to get all the things lined up.
Got a couple here. Some of them have to be remade. It ran off the end.
Would it run off on the USA and stuff, or did it run off on the...
Hey, Richard. No, it ran off on Nobler. The edge. Blue. Cut the bottom of the end off, so I'll have to redo those on another piece.
Is this anything? So,
It's right where it's supposed to be, right there on that line. It's softer.
back on
We'll see what's your numbers. Gotta just wasted a bunch there. It wasted a bunch. Yeah. Got some carbon fiber still.
if you ever get one of these plotter cutters, um, and you get some vinyl, you get this low tack vinyl, and then they make a clear sort of low tack transfer tape too, and that's what this is. And to be perfectly honest, you want to get these 6-inch rolls of this transfer tape. I've got some 24-inch, 18 or 24-inch transfer tape rolls at home from a big commercial guy that does signs and stuff. And I'll tell you what, it's about impossible to try to handle, to do it yourself at home. But this stuff in these 6-inch rolls works great. It's easy to work with, and normally you're not cutting a stencil out that needs much more than this anyway. If it does, you put it on in 2 pieces instead of just one. All that matters is that you overlap this so it sticks to the other piece of transfer tape that you already have down, and it works pretty good at that. We found that when it comes time, if you're having a delamination problem with your finishes or anything, we found that a hot air gun, for monocoat or whatever, set on a fairly low tax, low heat setting, or even high heat for that matter. But if you just barely wave it over it, it makes the vinyl come off of your airplane much easier. But you just got to sit there and just sort of start peeling it and just hit it a little bit and pull it away and pull it off and hit it a little bit and pull away a little bit more. Works pretty good at that. We don't use that when you remove the transfer tape because it could affect the vinyl that's left down on the surface. But when it comes time to remove the stencil itself, to take a little bit of heat to it and
Man, it ruined a bunch of them because it, went off the end of all of them.
of all of them all down one side, eh?
Yeah.
Is that all? Was that on the left side or the right side of it?
I don't know. It operates backwards.
Oh, it operates backward. Yeah.
So we're gonna try to salvage what we can here. So the first thing I want to do is cut this off. So you hold that right there. See it? I mean, you get some out of it. Okay. Those are the test pieces. No big deal.
Yeah, it ate it up a little bit. That much pressure on it, didn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Hold that right there. All these are done.
Yeah, all the little ends of the end. Boy, it didn't miss by much, did it? Another 1/4 of an inch and it had it.
So we need to figure out how we need to rearrange this file and figure out what we need to cut and where.
See, you're 1/2 an inch off this edge. Well, not all the way. here you're less than a half an inch.
So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 USAs.
These are all good, aren't they?
Yeah, these are good. That's
All we
good.
need to redo is the nobler, right?
Yeah, but you want to get all of them on there. I mean,
You got AMA number.
yeah. So we need one nobler. Let's see how many noblers we got up there. 3. And we need one nobler. Might be able to do 2. And 2 AMA numbers. And 2 USAs. No, 3 USAs.
Might have cut the top off too.
No. For some reason, when it plots, it doesn't plot all the way across. It left that space there. It was going to get back to it.
Right. And that left this whole area out right here.
Right. Let's see, what does this little thingy say? So, how many numbers do we need? Move this down. How many noblers and how many numbers?
You need 3 numbers.
Object. Ungroup. How many noblers? Object.
2 noblers. Or 1. Well, how many do we have? 3?
Yeah.
1. Because you got 2 good ones. It's
Ungroup.
just a spare
Yeah.
in case I mess up.
So how many numbers we need?
3.
And how many noblers?
1.
You know what? It didn't.
So they got a nobler here.
Let me look at this.
It's really hard to see.
So it left it on that side.
Left it on this side. You got about 3/8 here. And they got 1 right here, the center one. Nobler. So it cut the bottom of this one off.
It cut this side off.
Yeah.
Wonder why. So
So basically, there's 3 right, one on top of the other, are what you need.
how many noblers? Just one?
Just 1, because you got 1 vertical and you got 1 in the center horizontal.
Okay. So I'm just going to move this
That's
stuff
what you
over.
need. It's just that right there.
And how many stun hangers or USAs or whatever? How many USAs?
1 more wicks.
1 more wicks.
1 more stunt hanger.
Let me rotate this. How many? Well, that's good enough.
And 3 USAs.
I'll give you 4. You get all the AMAs in there? 4?
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I got 4 AMAs.
I'm gonna. The way I'm gonna do this, we're gonna lose some material, but I don't want to do this again, so I want to make sure that it gets it. If it loses that one, so what?
Yeah, well, don't go over any closer to that edge. Because it seems to be printing the right side okay, but not the left side.
Yeah. We'll get it. Copy. Paste. Paste in place. Well, I hope you guys are enjoying the comedy act. Okay. I'm not showing them what I'm doing here. So we're just kind of all by ourselves. So we want to copy. Copy. Paste in place.
What this thing did was it offset this to one side and left a nice border on one edge, and we overran on this left-hand side of the print.
Yeah.
So it took any overlap you got off for tape area plus a little bit of the letters. And it's just enough that you can't use them no matter what. I mean, if I just wanted the 5939 part of it, then I could get that without any problem, my AMA number. But the N registration is not there, or part of it. Same way with Nobler.
How many USAs did you get on there? Oh, you got.
I only got one. Let's see, 1, 2. There's 5 of them actually on here.
Well, we're gonna cut some more. So
But we can use those anywhere.
Right.
AMA we can use anywhere. USA we can use anywhere. Wix we can use anywhere. Stunhanger we can use anywhere. AMA we can use. I said that, didn't I?
I might as well eat up this space here. Copy, paste in place. Hey guys, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this run again, so you guys don't have to listen to this grind. I think I'm gonna shut the stream off. We'll be back after this thing finishes cutting, and because I'm gonna work on my Tucker again today. So appreciate you watching, and it's a real comedy. There's nothing for us to do besides what we're doing.
Watch the printer grind out some stencils.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you got tons of border. You got enough border across the top?
Oh yeah. But I better set this thing.
Oh, that just determines on where you set that in that, doesn't it?
Yep.
Is it? They didn't get. You don't have a holder for that?
What do you think? I'm setting it on the floor.
Oh, that's the holder. I thought it'd have a rod or something at it. I don't know.
Got 2 rollers in the back.
Oh, okay. It just sits in the rollers then.
Yeah. The problem is I got no room. I mean.
Yeah. You guys gotta realize, man, there's a lot of stuff going on in this little apartment. This is a motel room basically with very little room. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 almost 5 full-size stunt planes, you know, a 36-inch cutter plotter, a couple computers, a TV, a bed, you know, his workbench that he's working off of, he's packed in here pretty tight.
Yeah, like a real thing.
This little room right here is probably about 12 foot wide by 14 foot long. So not including the kitchen area. So it's pretty tight quarters. Cut my head off there.
Okay. All right. I set the origin. I probably set the origin in the wrong spot when that worked out, but at least we'll get back what you had. So let's cut this up. I don't know why it does it backwards like that. Okay. Well, like I said, line control line son, that's Charles. Hey Charles.
Hey Charles.
I'll be back after give us a half an hour break, eat lunch, whatever. Everyone's tight lines. See ya.